now available in paperback and e-readers. Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door takes on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed, all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess featuring a bonus pin-up and the other two books in the Cyber Goddess saga at online bookstores everywhere today. There was a mass shooting here in America on Mother's Day. And in this incident, which took place in Colorado Springs, Colorado, an individual walked into the trailer where a family was hosting a birthday party, and he wound up shooting his girlfriend and five other adults before taking his own life. Now, some are saying that this is just another mass shooting here in America where they really don't understand the motive. But when I take a critical examination of the Mother's Day mass shooting, I see yet another incident that fits the pattern and profile I talk about regarding beta males in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me that this beta male went to this birthday party looking to not only inflict harm on whoever he had an issue with, but he also wanted to make a statement. Because oftentimes when you have beta males and they participate in these mass shootings, they do them so that they can go out in a blaze of glory and they can go out in infamy. And I believe that's what this beta male wanted to do by participating in this mass shooting, and it being on Mother's Day and on the birthday of that child. Because what this beta male wanted to do was he wanted to go out in infamy where people would be talking about the violence he participated in, and two, he wanted to go out here and traumatize people with his violence. Because to participate in a mass shooting at a child's birthday, that is one of the most ultimate acts of cruelty, because what they want to do is not only take the children's parents away, but they also want to emotionally scar the child. So when your beta male participates in this extreme kind of violence like this, it is not only meant to do physical harm by taking the lives of the people who he wants to hurt, but it is also done so that he can do emotional damage to the others who survive. So your beta male, when he goes out here and participates in this extreme act of violence, he's looking to do double the harm by not only, again, taking the lives of adults, but also traumatizing children. So what this beta male wanted to do in this case was he wanted to go out here in a blaze of glory, but he also wanted to hurt as many people as possible for as long a period of time, because these children are going to be living with the incident burned in their minds of seeing their entire family getting shot and killed in front of them. And they're going to be remembering that this man did this, and then after he did this, he took his own life. And it just, again, shows how depraved many of your beta males can be, and why these men in crisis are extremely dangerous to be around. Now, when it comes down to your beta male, he is a ticking time bomb, and in many cases, he is a landmine. And what's really scary is you don't know what's going to set him off or what damage he's going to do when he's set off. And it's hard to say what set this male off to do this harm. I mean, this woman who was involved with him probably never knew what anger was boiling in this man's breast, because when you're dealing with beta males, they simmer and boil in anger for years, and most people never know that this man is angry because he holds it and suppresses it on the inside until eventually he winds up exploding in a rage where he goes out here and does serious harm to others. Now, after this Mother's Day mass shooting, which was done in order to have a maximum impact of cruelty so that this beta male could go out in infamy, we had more calls from people talking about gun control. And most people really don't understand that gun control is not going to stop these incidents from happening. What's going to happen is that these beta males are going to find another weapon to do harm to others. And that's the thing that flies over most of the gun control advocates' heads, is they don't understand the problem we have in this country is not a gun issue. No, the problem we have in this country is a man issue. And the problem we have is the way we have been raising boys in this country for the last 50 years. And because we have been raising boys to become these socially engineered soft males, these soft males really don't have the male life skills or male survival skills, such as critical thinking, the ability to use logic and reason, the ability to navigate through their emotions, and the ability to problem solve. And because they don't have these life skills, many of these men, the whole way they respond to things is by reacting emotionally, and they go out here looking to act on their impulses based on their feelings. And because they're acting on their feelings, what they do is go out here and explode in these rages, and they go out here looking to do harm to as many people as possible because they want to go out in infamy, because a lot of them feel like they can't accomplish anything. A lot of them are frustrated, and a lot of them are, again, simmering and boiling in anger. And because many people in American government don't want to admit that many of the policies we have placed in this country as related to these social programs and the establishment of the welfare state are failures. They don't want to admit it because their party created those policies, and they have created this bumper crop of ticking time bomb beta males who go out here and participate in these extreme acts of violence. Now, many of those same people from these political parties are the ones talking about gun control, but the problem we have in this country is the complete collapse of the American family. And the American family has collapsed because we wanted to believe we could raise boys to become men without having a father in the home to teach male life skills and teach male survival skills and teach boys the skills that they would need in order to navigate the world as men. And no amount of gun legislation is going to solve this problem, because if we don't have boys who know how to navigate the world as men, you're going to get an increase in frequency of violence. And we are starting to see this increase in frequency of this gun violence because we had the COVID-19 pandemic. And after this pandemic locked down the country, we had all of these males sitting around with idle minds, and those idle minds became the devil's workshop. And now that the country is opening up once again, many of those idle minds that were the devil's workshop are now looking to do the devil's work. And now that they're looking to do the devil's work, that's going to make life extremely dangerous for people all across this country, because not only are we seeing an increase in these mass shootings, we're seeing an increase in frequency in these mass shootings. And the reason why we're seeing an increase in frequency is because when you have beta males and they're out here, they again are looking to go out here and do harm because they feel like there is nothing for them in this world. They can't get a job because the pandemic has locked down everything and closed a lot of businesses. A lot of these men are unemployed, and a lot of these men have lost hope and they've lost purpose, and that makes them even more dangerous because a man with nothing to lose, will do harm to others and not think about the consequences of his actions. But we have many politicians still trying to argue gun control, but this is a problem with the way we have raised boys to become men, and because we have not invested in our boys and to help them become better men, we're having a problem all across this country because these ticking time bombs are walking all around us, and the clock has been accelerated as related to them exploding, because a lot of these men, they were already on the edge as it was, and now these men are sitting here and they just want to act impulsively, and they're looking for just the right time. And that's why everybody has to keep their heads on a swivel, because when you're out here, you never know when one of these beta males will go off in a rage, and you'll never know when one of these beta males will go off on a rage, and it could possibly lead to you either winding up getting injured or possibly have your life put at risk. And that's why you have to keep your head on a swivel, because this man crisis is getting worse and not better. And the sad part is many in government are in denial about this man crisis that's been going on all across this country. They just don't want to acknowledge that the problem is the way we have raised boys to become men over the last 50 years. And they don't want to acknowledge that we're seeing this increase in frequency of this violence, because when you have males who are not with any sort of hope or any sort of purpose, they feel like they have nothing to lose, and some feel like they can't accomplish anything, so they're looking to go out in this blaze of glory and infamy, and that really puts a lot of American people's lives in jeopardy. But you have everybody again talking about we need to regulate guns, but in 99.9% of the cases of these mass shootings, many of these men buy their guns legally, and they buy them legally in states with strict gun control laws like Colorado. And what's really troubling is this is the second mass shooting in possibly a month as related to Colorado. And again, I guarantee you this probably will be a case where the individual bought his gun legally, and it will prove that these gun control laws aren't the problem. The problem is we have a man crisis in this country, and until we acknowledge this man crisis and acknowledge the way we have been raising boys to become men in this country is making monsters, we're not going to be able to solve this man crisis anytime soon. Now, if you want to learn more about why so many males participate in this spectrum of extreme violence, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis on Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And this book will detail why so many boys are participating in violent and destructive behaviors, and why so many men are falling apart all across Western society. Now, if you also want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Taking Care of Business. The man who rules the world breaks in a brand new partner to help him take care of business in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, Taking Care of Business at paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere.